Great. Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take a top stories in crypto and bring them out of bite-sized pieces. Today, just as the thumbnail and the title suggests, people working within crypto are destroying it. And I think it's a good lesson to take a look at which ones are here for the long haul. So we'll break it all down. And first, we'll take a look at the market, which is actually looking pretty good. Then we're going to talk about how crypto didn't let us down. People are. And then we're going to talk about kicking the bums out with the New York Attorney General. And then a little bright spot for the day, which is I Trust Capital. And lastly, we'll wrap it all up with my man Ken Oling from Meld as he does an interview. So if you're interested in Cardano and Matic and Ethereum and Bridges, this is the interview for you. So we'll go over all that. And of course, at the very end, do a little Q&A. So let's just jump right into it and talk about the market, which is looking good. And actually, before we do that, I want to just, this caught my attention today as I was looking over things about in Twitter. And it's a nice little video. And it was titled, "These are Bitcoin maximalists skating through the ever deepening crypto portfolios that are in ruin." And as they skate through and they're on their cold storage wallet. I got to tell you, this is this is pretty accurate if you think about it. All the things that have been going on, all the different issues. If you were just a Bitcoin maxi and you had all your Bitcoin in a cold storage wallet, all the talks about, you know, the yield earnings and the yield farming and all the different get rich quick types of things, it kind of doesn't really apply to you. And it's amazing how in these bear markets, Bitcoin maximalists are born every single minute, just about. And I am getting to that cliff, we'll just say. But I just thought it was interesting and funny, and that's pretty much how it is. So let's take a look then at the market itself. So today, market's looking good. I mean, not too bad at all, I don't think. We got Bitcoin up 8% for the week. I mean, Ethereum up 12%, and we're holding strong. We didn't hit 24,000. That's okay. Everything's up across the board. I'm pretty happy. I'm sure you're pretty happy. If you're up massively, think about taking profits like I always talk about. But that's for you. I can't tell you what you do. I'm not a financial advisor. And look at some other things as well, like Aave up 17%, Quant 17%, Lido DAO up 56% for the week. You've got just some pretty big players, and Uniswap up 17%. I can tell you why, because people are really into DEXs, decentralized exchanges, decentralized finance, all those things, and I can see exactly where it's coming to. Also, traditional markets looking good too. They're up a little bit of a smidge for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. So that's the markets, and so it's looking pretty good. And I will say. So let's jump into it. And let me just start off by saying this: we didn't get let down by crypto. People let us down. People that are in these centralized finances, these projects, and that have really gone astray. Crypto has done exactly what it was supposed to do. It was designed to do, and what it was constructed by different projects. Unfortunately, it's the people behind those projects that are screwing up left and right. So the whole thesis for this whole video, don't take it negatively. I want you to really think about these things and look to yourself and think, which one of these projects really wants to be around here for 10, 15, 100 years? Who isn't here for a get-rich-quick cash grab? Who is here that wants to push the narrative forward? That, I think, is where the real money's made. So yes, I mean, it's been a pretty crappy run, but this is what it is. And this is a tweet I put out. It was from Into the Block. On-chain activity for Aave token is on an uptrend. Daily activity addresses recently reached a yearly high. Aave token is up 114% from the recent bottom. And the things that have happened, like with the Voyagers, the Celsius, the Valds, Luna Classic, all that stuff, it really affects everybody. And especially no more than, like, if you take a look at El Salvador, this was a list that I had put together. And I just wanted to see when, and I've had this for a while, when actually, blow this up a little bit, El Salvador purchased Bitcoin, the price it did and how much it purchased. And I think I linked this in the description so you can check it out as yourself. But I haven't updated this since the bull run. And you can see right here where it says value or Bitcoin price today, 59,000. At that point, I can add these up right quick. I don't know if you can see this, but that's a whopping 8 million profit in the difference when Bitcoin was, almost at its all-time high. Now let's take it back. Say 23,000 is roughly today. And let's go down here. So you're looking at, negative 32 million. So all these things that are happening, again, did Bitcoin screw up? Was there a hack? Was there something going on? No, it was the people in these different projects that screwed up royally. And that's what leading to a lot of these hardships, especially in El Salvador. So that would lead me to my next point, Nomad. So you probably have already heard about this. This is another bridge hack. And here is what is going on. Nomad hit by $190 million theft. Again, just one more problem in the crypto space. U.S. crypto firm Nomad has been hit by 190 million thefts. This was on, today. Nomad said in this tweet that it was aware of the incident and was currently investigating. The company has notified law enforcement, that's good, and is working with blockchain forensics firms to try to identify the account involved and get back the funds. How many times have we seen this story play again and again? Nomad, which last week raised 22 million from investors, including Coinbase, makes software that connects different blockchains. And good for them. That's great. I know one of their big pushes is we are safe. We are trying to be as safe as we possibly can. Didn't work out that way. Over $1 billion has been stolen from bridges so far in 2022. And actually, this would be what Vitalik Buterin was talking about as far as bridges being the most hackable. Unfortunately, he's been proven correct so far. In June, Harmony said that the thieves stole around 100 million. Hackers in March stole around 650 million worth of crypto from Ronin Bridge, used to transfer crypto in and out of the Axie Infinity. Thank God that Jump Financial came in there and bailed them out, but you can't bail out everybody, especially in bad code. And that's if it was a code or if it was something else that was going on nefarious behind the scenes. I just hear things and I'm not going to speculate because that's not what I try to do as much as possible. PeckShield said that a small portion of the coins were moved to a so-called mixer, which masks the trail of crypto transactions, while around 95 million was held in 3 other wallets. So again, here we go, which is another problem, another hack, and another issue where if I don't know exactly what it was, we'll find out later. But again, pay attention to the projects that move slow and deliberate. And they tried to dot their I's and cross their T's and be as safe as they possibly can. Yeah, it sucks when some projects are slow as we are moving in breakneck speed in the crypto digital asset space. But I can tell you right now, it's not how much you make in this market, it's how much you keep. Which leads me to my next point as we go down this rabbit hole, Voyager. Voyager, the bankruptcy, puts U.S. pro women's soccer player payouts at risk. Not that this is the end-all be-all. I think the pro women's team is going to be just fine. But it is interesting that's just one more domino to fall for Voyager, because I'm not going to read the whole article. It's kind of boring, honestly. But really what it comes down to is this. Voyager made a deal with the U.S. pro soccer team. Half of that was paid in dollar bills or dollars, and the other half was supposed to be in cryptocurrency and digital assets. Unfortunately, it was also linked to their Celsius accounts, so that's not going to happen. And it wasn't their salaries; it was just like a bonus for advertising for crypto. So, again, Voyager, not only did it affect millions of people, it also affects these people. And then also, don't forget, they had a nice little partnership with the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm sure that the Dallas Mavericks, all their fans, are taking a look at Mark Cuban, going, "How did you get into bed with these people? You think that looks good for Mark Cuban and everybody else?" Again, the crypto didn't fail these people. The people failed the people. And that will lead me to my next point, which is this. It's time to clean house. We can only do so much, right? We can only complain and whatnot, but this is really what it comes down to. This is from the New York Attorney General. And she's calling for whistleblowers. That's like me and you that are deceived or affected by the crypto market crash. This is New York Attorney General Letitia James. And yesterday, she said, look, if you're a New York-based crypto user who have been locked out of accounts, check, at exchanges or lending platforms, check, unable to access funds or deceived about their cryptocurrency investments, check, to contact the office of the AG. She specifically called out Terra Luna and Terra Classic Luna holders for the crash, accounts frozen on staking or yield generation, including Celsius, Voyager, Anchor, and stablecoins or stable gains or algorithmic stablecoins like with Luna. So what does that mean for you and me? Here's what it means. There's a link in the description, and it's going to take you right here to the Attorney General NewYork.gov complaint forms. I even went so far as further as to pick you to the right place so you can fill out this handy dandy form and you can complain to the Attorney General so maybe they can get rid of the bums that are out there that are destroying this whole great space because of their stupidity, their arrogance, and their greed. Link in the description. Please fill it out. I've already done it myself. So, all right. That's just me on my soapbox. Let me step down for a second and just say this. Yeah, it sure sucks what's been going on. But again, there's a lot of good platforms out there. There's a lot of good projects. There's a lot of good people. But you have to differentiate between the people and the groups and the projects that are doing the right things at the right time. They're taking their sweet baby time to get things right because they want to be here for the long haul. These cash grabs, they're going to be gone. These projects that are here, they're going to be gone. And I know that in me, my personal self, I'd like thousands of these projects just to go away so we can get at the real deal. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section. But let's talk about a bright spot, which was this. iTrust. So iTrust has been having some issues with their website. And iTrust is, I've been working with them for over 2 years now. I have my entire Roth IRA, which isn't that much. I'll be honest with you. You can only put in $7,000 per year in the United States. And it varies from your age group or your financial status, but $7,000 is pretty much the limit. So I got $14,000 in there. Other people, they could have transferred their whole entire IRA to this. And I was pretty peeved at the fact that yesterday, the whole weekend, people weren't able to get into their iTrust account. And I'm like, here we go. However, these guys, they don't do anything with lending. They don't do anything with algorithmic stablecoins. They don't do anything a lot with everything. But the problem was, and I was bitching about this, I was complaining about this this last couple of days, which is this. They work for us, not the other way around. So it would behoove them to actually put out the right information and talk to our customers and go, look, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. Instead of some random tweets here and there, push out the emails every so many hours and tell them this is what's going on. That I can't tell them what to do. I'm not their dad. But there's always repercussions. But thankfully today we got this little message, and I've been talking back and forth with people at iTrust, and they said, look, we anticipate full accessibility within the next 24 hours, and we'll notify our clients when systems are live. If you go over to iTrust Capital, let me bring this up. The website is up, which is great. Of course, when I try to log in, I can't get in there. So it's still down, but from what I understand from the people I've talked to, they say that it'll be up within this afternoon at some point. So I tried to push off this video till late as possible. Unfortunately, it's still not up. But I will just say this. To keep customers, especially in these times, it's pretty important that you tell them exactly what's going on and keep everything transparent. Because if you don't, you will lose customers. And especially right now with what's going on, it is imperative to do the right thing at the right time to the right people. And that's why I was happy to have on Ken Oling from Meld. And we did a quick interview. Actually, here's our original video with Meld on Cardano. This is Ken Oling. He is the CEO of Meld. And it's a pretty good platform. It's with DeFi loans, using DeFi built on Cardano. Now they're bridging over to Avalanche, also bridging over to Matic and Polygon, Ethereum, EVM, and all that good stuff. So if you're in any way, shape, or form interested in those types of things, this might be a pretty good interview to listen to. So I'm going to play the interview. It's about 12 minutes. And after that, we'll do a little Q&A. So let's jump right in. Bop, bop, bop. But so as promised, what I want to do was bring the man himself, Ken Oling, back in to talk about what exactly is going on with Meld. So Ken, welcome back to the show. I think it's like the third or fourth time we've talked.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. It's always good to be here. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, man. I just missed you at Consensus. You and a bunch of people. So sorry about that.
No problem. We had a great time. It was very exciting, and the market collapsed in on itself while we were there. So that's always good.
Well, we're going to get into stuff about that. So,
yeah.
So Ken, I got 4 questions for you today. Just the basics. First, I want to talk to you about is what's new with Meld. I think you guys got a lot of things going on. There's been some shakeups, and how is everything affecting as the market moves on? The second one I want to talk about is what do you guys think about this current state of crypto? I mean, we're in a bear market pretty solidly, winter or not. So how do you see things going? Also, C5 versus DeFi, and then we just talked today about that bridge hack over there at Nomad. And then what's your plans for this bear market? Because some projects are folding and some are moving forward. So I just want to see what you guys' plans were. And then, of course, the last one is always Windmoon. All right. First one, my man. What's new with Meld since we last talked?
Yeah, I mean, a lot's been going on. So we've been working very, very hard on our Akamon bridge, sort of bridging from Cardano to Polygon.
Right.
So that's going very well. We've been in sort of alpha testing on the test net and then beta testing. So we tested it significantly before the hard fork. And then after the hard fork, we had a couple of breaks that we've been working on. And so now we're currently working on adjustments as Cardano is also working on updates and testing on the main hard fork that they're hopefully going to be putting out in the next month or two. We'll try and coincide our beta testing on mainnet with that as well. So we have this bridge. We have an interface in the Meld app that makes it possible for us to bridge ADA, Meld, and Matic from Cardano to Polygon and from Polygon back to Cardano. So this is great. So we're sort of moving into the wonderful, exciting world of EVMs. And after we finish this and we have this out, then we're going to look at the possibilities of adding more EVM endpoints to the bridge. And we'll take a look and see how that plays out and what the community thinks in regards to that. So in addition to that, we've been working a lot on sort of core Haskell development. We've been contributing a lot to the overall Cardano code base. So when we were at Consensus, we spoke with some of the people from IOG, and they were saying that our team is among the biggest contributors to the Cardano code base outside of IOG's team. Very nice.
Very nice.
So we got to meet Charles at Consensus, and we got to really sort of connect face to face with a lot of the people in the community. So that was very, very good as well. And so now, sort of as we go into the bear market, into the crypto winter, this is build time for us. So we're narrowing things down, and we're going to focus very, very intensely on building and delivering what's in the white paper, the lending and borrowing protocol, doing this hell or high water as soon as is humanly possible. So as to the bear market, we knew that it was coming. We have talked about it from day one when we raised our money to make sure that we had enough money to survive the bear market and build during that time. And this is what's happened. And so it's all going to plan in that sense. It's never going as fast as we want it to, but we just have to live with the circumstances we're under as of right now.
That's right. Okay. So, there's lots to unpack there. First of all, 2 things. One is selfish. If you see Charles again, please tell him to come on the show. That'd be great. And then the second thing is perfect. The second thing
I got him to ride a mechanical bull.
Well, that's no small feat. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
He was pretty good too.
Yeah, looks like a stout guy. Looks like he can handle himself. So yeah, that'd be great to have him on the show. I can talk about the mechanical bull and everything else. The second thing is that you had talked about bridges, and I keep seeing these hacks going on, and there's a lot of them. And then we just had one with Nomad, and a couple of different Cardano projects got flushed out on top of the almost $200 million lost so far. So here's the question. I mean, and this is kind of off topic, but I mean, this is what's new with Meld. When you guys are doing this, how are you guys making sure the same thing doesn't happen with this one as opposed to like all the other ones too? What makes you guys different? How are you going to stop these types of hacks?
So I don't know if there's a perfect answer for this, but the goal is to kind of take a couple steps back and try to be a bit more pragmatic about how to solve some of the more dramatic sides of the problem. Everybody knows that bridges are by far the most dangerous part of anything in the blockchain ecosystem today. And so with the fact that we see these hacks on a regular basis, one of the things that we're focusing on, it's very simple, but it's also very important. It's a pause button, the ability to pause the system. So if you had this with Nomad, then you wouldn't have had, you would still have had a hack, but the hack would have been infinitely smaller and it would have been very easy to have patched that hack. So that's not the only security sort of measure that we're including, but these types of, this is a non-technical solution, right? And so there's several different things that you want to look at when you're dealing with the bridge. I can't go into any of the sort of intimate details on the technical side of things. That has to be audited, etc. But on a sort of more practical level, those are some of the things that we're implementing. It will have a pause button. It will be monitored on a regular basis. So we will be able to, if we see some exploit like that, which we don't expect to, but you better to be safe than sorry, then we have the chance to say, stop, check things out, turn it back on. It's better for us to pause or stop some transactions for a couple people and make that inconvenience there, rather than allowing for all of the liquidity in the bridge to be drained out like we saw with Nomad yesterday. It was in our feed, and it was really kind of scary to watch it as it happened, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty unnerving.
Yeah, no, and then I got to tell you, like when I first got into crypto, I was always kind of put off a little bit on the Cardano mold about how they would take things so slow, because I built a couple businesses, entrepreneur, and I'm like, just throw stuff at the wall and just wait till see what sticks. Unfortunately, when you do that with other people's money, things get broke fast, and then projects get lost faster. So I can see why you guys would want to do it and slow it down and things like that. I got you. So that would actually lead me to my next question. With everything that's going on, I mean, we've seen a lot of problems, a lot of destruction, especially with CeFi and the things that are going on in the lending platforms. What do you think right now that's going on about the current state of the crypto market, and how do you see CeFi versus DeFi playing out? And then, of course, we already talked about the bridge hacks. So, what do you got?
I mean, this is for Meld, this is a learning moment. So what I tell my team is, pay attention right now. This is the best possible time for us to plan, for us to strategize, to us to learn from lots of mistakes and problems that obviously have come about now. We've seen in the past couple of weeks where you saw BlockFi get saved by FTX. You had, Celsius go under bankruptcy protection. You have Vault trying to be bought. They're happening all the time, especially, you saw these kind of systemic problems with Three Arrows Capital, and how that sort of really kind of cascaded across the market. But what I think is, that's great, and it's important that our team looks at this and we get a sense of responsibility for who is our customers' money, what we're allowed to do with it and what we're not allowed to do with it, and how we have to take care of it.
Right.
But it's also very telling in the sense that you have a bunch of failures in the centralized, regulated, licensed space. And those same types of actors in DeFi are doing just fine. So I think that is probably the most telling and the most valuable takeaway that I have, is that in the centralized finance space, you have auditors and you have regulators, and they come in at regular intervals, and you have to get audited annually, and you provide all of your books, etc., under sort of the traditional finance sort of regime. But in DeFi, you see these sort of audits, they're happening hourly, daily, across the world by tens of thousands of people. Every movement that Aave does, or any lending and borrowing protocol or DeFi protocol does, it's under perpetual scrutiny. That's fantastic. If you build your business under this type of scrutiny, it's going to be infinitely more resilient. And I think this is the real value proposition. This makes me so much more convinced of a lot of the values that DeFi has, that it's there to stay, and the people that are using it are also the people that are auditing it. And any misstep is going to be called out in the moment. It's not going to wait for a year or 6 months until the auditor sees it. Maybe he sees it, maybe he doesn't see it. It will be picked on and focused on and talked about right from the get-go. And I think that is so incredibly healthy. It's also painful and hard and scary, because all of your activities are going to be under the microscope. But I think in the end, what you saw was that microscope has made companies like Aave and Comp much, much more resilient, much less capable of doing these kinds of backroom deals, which puts a lot of unnecessary risk and exposure on them. And I think that that's really kind of the takeaway. Our whole value proposition is this kind of marriage of these two worlds, this bringing of the regulated fiat world into the DeFi world and vice versa. And we can learn from both of these in regards to what's happened in the CeFi world and what not to do, and the real kind of sort of value or thing that you can really put your finger on and say, this is a much better solution on the DeFi side of things. And so it's I think it's a great set of circumstances that we're currently in. It was inevitable. I won't say that I'm not happy that some of our competitors are now kind of out of the market. So that doesn't bother me at all. But the learnings from it, I think, are extremely valuable for both myself as well as our whole team.
That's a great point. I'll probably be putting this out over and over again, what you just said. And we were talking about this before. I was talking to Simon Yu from StormX, and I was complaining about the markets. And he goes, Rob, you understand? He goes, it's not that the crypto let everybody down. It was the centralized players that let everybody down. Crypto did just fine. Look at Aave, look at Compound, look at DeFi. He goes, those are the ones that are going to be the next big thing. And I thought about it, I go, yeah. And then what you just said, which I'll be using this for a long time, when he said, if you can have everything open, and you can have everybody that is that transparent. I mean, imagine if JP Morgan could have all their banking transactions on an open ledger and all their different things they've done. There's no more spoofing of the precious metals. Imagine if you could do that with voting. There will be no more voter fraud. There'll be none of that stuff.
Right.
And imagine, just anything that you want to do. The question is how to get there the right way so people can trust it. I think this is the growing pain time, but we'll see how it all works out. I think it's got a bright future, just I don't know when. Which leads me to the next question. No, sorry. What were we going to say?
So, our target right now is to really, really make a position in in the financial world in Q1 of next year. That's our focus. We're pushing very hard. I'm pushing the team really, really hard to run fast now that we're in this kind of build mode, and get out into the space and actually start to carve out our sort of piece of the market and demonstrate some of our value propositions. Whether we're actually able to achieve all of the components of the protocol in that time frame, I'm not sure, but I'm really pushing hard to at least have part of it available and in the market. In other words, we have MELD product in people's hands and they can actually use it. We have the start of that, obviously, with the bridge, and the bridge will be sort of heavily tested over the next couple of months, and it'll be audited again. And then from that point on, the bridge will be live, and we'll be working with lots of different partners to be able to integrate the bridge so that you can bring assets across into the Cardano ecosystem. Yeah. But, in general, I think that push really hard to really make a name for ourselves and a noise in Q1 and Q2.
Well, you got three of my favorite projects out there. You got MELD, you got Cardano, and you got Matic. I'll take all those things. So great. So Ken, last one, and then we'll get out of here. is what I ask everybody. When, Moon? When are we going to see this next parabolic run? When is it for you?
So based on our business plan, I personally see about 2 years out. I know some of our financial analysts, they think it's about 12 months out. I think that's very, very optimistic. That said, I would never have been able to predict that after last week's financial news, the equity space goes up and the dollar becomes stronger and Bitcoin goes to 24 and gold goes down. That's kind of, I would have never figured that one out. So take it with a grain of salt, but that's what we're planning for. So from a financial perspective, we're planning for a 2-year bear market and then for it to go into its next bull run sometime probably end of 2024, 2025. I
got the same thing. It's just 4-year cycles. I got 2 more. We all have 2 more years to accumulate in DCA. Ken, I want to say thanks again for coming on the show and just explaining exactly what's going on. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate being able to give these updates.
All right, everybody, let's jump back. All right, so that was it. So I want to thank Ken again for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And doing the interview. It was a little short notice, but we got it done. And then also, just so you know, the link in the description, there was 2 I want you to pay attention to. One of those was that New York Attorney General. If you want to talk to her, fill out that form about all the different whistleblowing activities you might have seen or not seen. There's the link right there to fill out that form. Then also the Meld, what Meld is, the video deep dive is also right there. So check that out after the video. So that, my friends, will conclude today for the news. So that is it for that part. Now, look, if you got to take off, get out of here. You've been here for 31 minutes. Well, most of you have. Some of you have not. That's okay. I just want to say thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Again, today, the whole subject wasn't about how it's just awful that the people are really screwing up crypto. Oh, they are. The thing was just to pay attention to the people that are doing the right things at the right time, at the right pace, and are here for the longevity. It's not how much you make right now. It's how much you're able to keep in the long run. And that's all about investing and for a long time horizon. Anyhow, let me know what you think about all those things we talked about in the comment section. If you want to stick around, we'll do the Q&A right now. I'll answer all your questions. And there's a boatload of them I just saw. It's the best of my abilities, and we'll jump in. If not, adios. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate you coming by. All right, let's jump in. Oh, man, these are good. First up, gas fee fees. Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan to check up on her NVIDIA investment today. God, that's funny. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I know somebody else in the comment section said that we're on the brink of war with China. Who knows? Maybe. Just Google fourth turning, and you'll see how it probably might be. Who knows? And then Mr. Blue says, I'll return in mid to late 2023 if things possibly change. Buying holding breath. That's probably the best investment strategy I've ever heard, quite honestly. Just letting go, is going, I'll be here later. And that's pretty much it. Just set it and forget it as far as like if you want a dollar cost average, don't do anything. Right now, it's just one of those times when we're going to be in a lull. I think we're going to be in a lull, sideways chop for quite some time. Matthew says, hey, Rob, would you say that everybody affected by Celsius should fill in that form? Will it do anything? Will we not be getting anything if we don't? It couldn't hurt. I'll just tell you that. It'll cost you about 5 minutes. That's how long it took me to fill it out. And go from there. Again, these are for New York residents as well. So I believe you have to be a New York resident, but couldn't hurt. That's all I can tell you. So yeah, fill out that form, tell them that, hey, there was some shenanigans going on with what I was told, as opposed to the terms and conditions, which were clearly not aligned. No, never says, but it was a great opportunity to use the you had one job line. I should have done that. Jason says, I think they got tired of me. Oh, speaking of which, I trust. Just got a text right now. I'll read it to you. I can't tell you who it's from, but they said, hey, FYI, we're expecting trading to be live within 1 to 1.5 hours. This is at 1:30. Right now it's 2:20, so expect that to be up in 45 minutes. Phones will be back on for customer service. Email communications going out, social media communication as well. I've already talked to them about their abysmal effort for communication. And I was like, don't tweet. People, that's not a very good look for you guys. Excuse me. Talking too fast. It's not a good look to tweet out your responses. To be a little bit more professional, maybe use email. Just saying. And constant emails. You can curse. That's nice. We need less scammers. Bobby Shouts, photographer extraordinaire. Rob, where did you move? So you're in El Paso a lot. We still live in Puerto Rico. Just we're doing a prolonged vacation here in El Paso, Texas. Who vacations in El Paso? This guy. Hey, Rob, what about ETH? Merger's coming up. Sounds like it's going to do pretty well. Buy the rumor, sell the news situation, potentially. It's up to you. Someone says, is this real? Capo says it's a green screen. I'm in my mom's basement right now, trying to be quiet to not wake her up. This is all green screen. That's right. Tommy, bonjour. Michael, throw a pool in the chair. If I throw a pool, it'll just knock down the green screen. It doesn't work like that. Nick says, what about Pelosi? What about, I got to tell you, pretty ballsy play. You know, China comes out and says, don't you do it. And she's okay. And she goes right to Taiwan. That's a good one. Create another bridge to get hacked. War is coming. Hey there, Rob, UGP. Hello. Dead Iguana. Rob doesn't have a good track record when it comes to people he interviews and chills. Look at Voyager. LOL. It's a good one. You know, but it is a good point. Dead Iguana is a good point. I talked about Voyager and Celsius for a lot. And unfortunately, with centralized exchanges like what me and Ken were talking about, you'll never know the dealings that they do behind the scenes. Like, I had no idea that they were doing uncollateralized loans. I had to collateralize my loans. I'm just a small guy. You would think that making loans over $500 million, you'd want some collateral, but I guess not. So you'll never know about those things. And that's why Ken had that great point. He talks about this is why I think DeFi is going to win. Because there's so many people looking at it. There's so many people that can take a look at the on-chain analysis. There's so many people that can call anybody out. And actually, after we talked, he was talking about how somebody bought 5 Diamond Hands NFTs on the Meld platform. And he was notified within like an hour of like somebody who was looking at on-chain analysis going, is this legit? He's like, look, that will never happen in centralized exchanges because you can't see what the inner happenings are going on. But with DeFi, you can. So it's one of those things. Slow and steady wins the race. That's right. Ron says, Dan, you become my favorite, more knowledgeable YouTuber. Thanks. I'm moving my ADA to D News. Thank you for the first time and effort you put into your videos. Look, if you don't know what to do with your Cardano or ADA, there's a great, pretty good stake pool with D News. There's a link in the description. It calls Stake with D News. Or Cardano staking with Dino. It takes you to a video. It's about 25 minutes or so. Shows you everything you need to know about how to stake it and all those things. And also, you know what's great about Cardano and staking? It never leaves your wallet, ever. Like, you have control of your private keys. So when people talk about how Cardano is like, it doesn't really work that well and everything else can't build on it, first of all, a lot of different things in the ecosystem moving. And second of all, they crushed the ease of use and how to actually stake Cardano. They did. Tell me who's easier. YSK. I was just listening to Bankless podcast, and they were talking about DeFi and the problem with tokenomics and DAO and how it's really not set up like should, and part of it like right. They're probably right. Look, here's the thing with DeFi. We just saw it. There's very few protocols to get it right now. This is where all the problems and the hassles come in and where all the testing comes in and where most people get screwed over. I got to admit. That's why I'm kind of staying, I'm staying on the sideline, just seeing who gets wrecked, who screws up, and who actually does the right thing at the right time with the right people and moves forward and doesn't get destroyed. That's all I really care about. If you can make it through this bear run and the next ones, you'll be good to go. So I just look at the ones that keep getting hacked. And that's it. And this is a point I should have made a long time ago. And Fia's right. Humans are corrupt by nature. And until they don't evolve, they're not to be trusted. Everybody is a liar, except me. Just kidding. I lie too. Let's be honest. No one is perfect. We're all liars. we're all cheats and we all have dark sides to us, right? Humans are corrupt by nature, which is why, like I talked about, these centralized players, it's just human nature to screw up like that. It's human nature to do these wrong things. And of course, people say, well, I would never do those things. Of course you wouldn't, but you're not like everybody. Everybody's different. That's why I think I put a lot of trust in these crypto projects, the ones that actually are making it, because you can eliminate those emotions, those wrongdoings, those underlying tones of human nature, and just move to the crux of what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be to help you and me move forward in life as far as with finances. And that's what DeFi is supposed to do. Centralized exchanges just took that and they perverted it in a crazy way. And now here we are. And I think that's most centralized exchanges, even the ones that haven't gotten wrecked yet. I'm planning to learn and use DEXs more. Me too. I should probably be doing a lot more of that. John Wallace says, ADA is the best vaporware out there. And then Purple Vincent says, a vaporware you can build on. And just so you know, there's this, let me bring this up. So I know people like to talk about Cardano and its vaporware, and I get it because that's what a lot of people have said. You know what people also used to say all the time? Diamond hands, never sell, keep holding on forever. That's dumb. I mean, it's not the greatest advice you could ever give to somebody. You got to take some profits along the way, unless you're just going to like hold for 20, 30 years. You can do that. I just don't think that's the right strategy for me. I can't tell you what to do, obviously. But for vaporware, Cardano, there's a link in the description. It's called Cardano Vaporware or Ghost Chain. That's what it was. This was the ecosystem in 2020. This is the one in 2021. This is November 2021. This is also April 2022. That's the ecosystem. Here it is for the 6th of June, 2022. All the projects being built on Cardano, wallets, stablecoins, oracles, NFT marketplaces, community data, dev team, developer tool, identity solution, incubator, so on and so forth. And then, of course, if you want to really dig it down, here is how much is being staked. I don't know if you can see it, but it's 72% of the entire circulating supply is being staked right now. 72%. And I don't know if you've ever staked Cardano, but there's no lockup periods. You can stake it, unstake it that same day. So if we take a look here, the staking ratio, okay, 71.43. I'll round up, 72%. Market cap is 15 billion. The staking market cap, 11 billion. That's not too bad. And it's ranked number 3. So, and then of course people will say, what about DeFi, Rob? What about DeFi? Well, the total amount in DeFi, if you take out DeFi Llama, is 72.53 billion. Ethereum is by far the biggest winner, or the biggest one that as far as locked up, 45 billion. Not going to take that away. Ethereum's, they're crushing it. However, Bitcoin on DeFi is only 118.55 million. And Cardano just beats Bitcoin in this one, 118.56. So I understand how people say, it's vaporware. But is it? Is it? Is it really? Just asking the question. All right. So let's see. What else do we have? My opinion algorithm. Very smart people behind it. Let's see if they can scale. I'm waiting for that. And go from there. I don't know. I own some. Let me rephrase that. I left some on Voyager. Part of my portfolio is still stuck over there. So we'll see. Maybe Voyager just owns it. Puerto Rico soon. Yeah, September, October, we go back, which is great. Exactly. This is not an air conditioned room. I think it's like 97 today. So maybe it's like 102 in here. But I'm okay with the heat. Let's see. Hey, Rob, would you consider building and organizing up your playlist section? I would consider it, but I'm not going to do it because there's a ton of other things to do. I should probably just get my assistant to do it. So yeah, I probably should do that. But I'm doing some big upgrades for the website, danteacherscrypto.com, 100% free website. Also, I'm getting together my 2024-2025 bull run strategy, which should be out this week. And I'm going to do some radically different things for me. What's this say? Digital Cable says, Rob, would you be interested in posting the show as a daily audio podcast in the Fountain app? Bitcoin Lightning-based podcast? Yeah, sure, I guess. Mr. McPickle says, old people like the heat. That's true. We do. Let's see. How is your computer not exploding? So I have a chill pad right here. I've learned that if I keep it out here and I don't have a chill pad, it starts getting glitchy. So I have a chill pad. It's like a freezer pad that you stick in the freezer and take it out when you want it. Let's see. Great info. Don't forget to. Okay. So that's it, everybody. Is that it? That is it. So look, that's it for today. 45 minutes. It's pretty good. We got through a pretty long news session. And again, Ken from Meld, I want to say thanks so much for going on. The stuff that he tells me behind the scenes, dynamite. Can't tell you though, unfortunately. But I'm just kidding. He doesn't really say much. But it was a good one. So Ken, thanks again for stopping by. And everybody here who's here hanging out with me on a Tuesday, thanks for stopping. I appreciate you guys. I do. If you do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe, or one of those two would be great. But if not, I'll see you tomorrow. So look, thanks so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one, which will be mañana. So adios. Have a good rest of the day.